Yeah, you come highly recommended, the Griffey guys, the hoverboard dudes. Yeah. So
Hell
we're
yeah,
hyped
no,
to be.
I appreciate that. Yeah, great chats with all of them. I know I just saw Grief Eater, not last week, the week before when they did that little weekender.
Yeah,
So that was
yeah.
sick to kind of see them in person too.
Oh, dude, yeah, they rip live. They're so fucking
Yeah,
dope. Like,
dude, it's so insane. Just like, and I forget all the dudes' names, but like just the vocal range, for their singer, like when he gets up there and starts doing his screams out, blew me away. Like the recording is one thing, but just do that shit in person and see it like that's insane.
When
oh
they were
yeah,
sound checking, we could just hear them from the green room, like downstairs. Just Lucas is screaming, like no PA system, just his like raw vocals, and it was like echoing throughout the entire venue. It was crazy.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. And then also thank you for sending me the new single Monument. I know it's not
oh
new,
hell
but
yeah,
yeah, that was sick to check out. So I appreciate
no,
getting to listen to it
absolutely.
ahead of
Yeah,
time.
we're anxiously awaiting putting that one out. That one's been in the vault for a while, so
Hell yeah. Do you guys have any questions before we get started?
not really. I mean,
No.
we're good to go. We've got our beers. I mean, just let us know when we're live. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, my only question before we fully start for the three of you is I know you have some beers, like you said. Do you have any unopened beers to participate in the opening crack with?
Well, I got one.
Oh
Oh
shit.
yeah, let me
So
grab the.
okay, yeah, we started drinking pretty much early, which is clearly a bad idea. So we have one that will set us up. Yeah, we'll do the initial crack, and then
All
we'll
right.
I
honestly,
I
then we'll
listened to a
start double
couple.
fisting. Fuck it. Like,
I listened to a couple episodes like and just kind of like leading up to this, and I was like, all right, I gotta have something cool for the opening crack. I gotta show off, like just
Yeah.
like, not get some local brand or something.
yeah, I mean, well, it's a big deal. We gotta, we gotta pick our sponsor.
All right. So what I'll do here is I'll count us down. We'll crack these beers, and then I'll do the little intro, bring the three of you in, and we'll just have a good time.
All right, sounds
Absolutely.
good.
Cool. All right. In three, two, one. Welcome to the Beers and Bands podcast with your host, Michael Torres. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers and Bands. Very stoked on this episode. I'm sitting down with Hell of a Life. How you guys doing?
What's going on? How we doing?
Doing
You know,
well. Glad to be here.
yeah, I'm happy you guys are here. We're doing this about as well as we can in this Arctic tundra that we live in the Midwest right now.
We got
But
beers and Wi-Fi. That's all we need.
exactly. Beers, Wi-Fi, talking about you guys and your band, so it'll be a good fucking time.
Oh yeah.
For people that aren't aware of you dudes, Hell of a Life, like I said, you guys are based out of Chicago, kind of like this shoegaze mixed with heavy. I feel like there's another term in there that I could probably use, and I'm probably forgetting it, but it's some good all around, just like vibe and like I'm. I just lost. I had something and I lost it, and I want to make sure it sounded right. But like heavy shoegaze is I think the easiest way to put it. But doing some cool shit.
Whenever someone asks me like what we sound like at a bar, I'm always just like, it sounds like Deftones. It's fine. That's my just generic like
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, there's heavy shoegaze. That's fine. That's usually what we tell booking people and shit like that. So,
Yeah.
it's the industry preferred answer. But yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we like all kinds of different music, so a lot of stuff is gonna just bleed in there naturally.
Right. Um, and before we get kind of too far, can you guys kind of go around the room and say who you are and what you do in Hell of a Life?
For sure. I'm Andrew Easterling. I do guitar and vocals.
I'm John Yukana. I play bass and sometimes vocals. Rarely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm a mall chef. I play guitar and also sometimes like backing live vocals.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then
we're
I know we
always,
are missing someone.
yeah, we're missing our drummer, Will Cummel. He's the fucking man, but fortunately couldn't be here. So,
Yeah, this one's
I'm pouring one out right now.
mm.
Rest in peace, Will. We miss you.
for people probably, especially like outside of Chicago, you're probably relatively new coming across Hell of a Life. But I mean, in general, you guys are fairly, I feel like, newer to the scene, at least especially in Chicago. The debut self-titled came out in like Actually, I don't have to say in like I know exactly. It was Friday the 13th, December 2024.
Was it
Yeah,
actually Friday the
I
Third?
yeah,
Okay.
think
right, yeah, right,
Okay,
right
that
at the
actually,
tail end. Yeah,
why did we do?
Uh,
That's so.
that's
why,
just
why
good
did
I
luck.
we
mean,
It's
it's a
good
do
it's a
luck.
good date to use.
Yeah.
That's actually funny. I didn't even know that. But yeah, we put that out like right at the end of 2024, and then last year was pretty much our full year, first full year of like actually playing shows and doing stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we played our last show in February with Grief Eater, actually.
yeah, that was
Uh,
yeah, our first ever show
yeah,
was February of last year with Grief Eater. So it was like super sick to kind of circle back with them and like play their like album release, almost a
Right.
year apart. Yeah, that was super cool.
Well, kind of take me back. Like, how did the four of you kind of band together to become Hell of a Life?
So Amal and I, we both went to school at DePaul University.
mhm,
I'm originally from Dallas, but I moved to Chicago in 2016 to go to school. And Amal and I were roommates freshman year, and obviously, like we were like, oh, we've played in bands, like in high school and stuff, and have always been
mhm.
musicians. So obviously, we became friends pretty quickly. Just talking about that kind of stuff. We'd always jam and whatnot, but yeah, we didn't really start like kind of jamming seriously, like actually, like
Until
writing
like
stuff and actually getting shit done until
until
like
like 2023, I think.
yeah we
Yeah,
were
because for years and years, literally like just like from like college up until like kind of post COVID, Andrew was kind of harping on me to like kind of jam with him and like like write music, and we kind of didn't really do anything with it. We like I think you and I have so many just unreleased like throwaway scratch tracks of
yeah
like riffs. But think right so John and I went to middle school together. Like I've known him since we were about 13, 12 years old. But he also went to DePaul, kind of transferred in at the end, and like the three of us started just like banding over music together and like
yeah, we'd always just
uh
hang out anyways,
mhm.
so it was just kind of like a natural progression. Eventually I was just like, all right, we actually have to start a band, we have to do
Yeah.
this. like we have to at least say we tried.
And then we hadn't we originally didn't have a drummer. It was just the three of us. One of my best friends, Charlie, from my first ever like high school band, would kind of be our live drummer, just for us, like when we go to our like practice space and like just kind of have someone to kind of like keep us, just be like our fill-in drummer. He just enjoyed drumming, but he doesn't live in Chicago. He's kind of like all over the place. So when it came for us to like kind of actually really record and like play shows, we hit up we had a mutual friend with Will who put us in contact. She's actually dating one of my best friends. So Will joined in what of like summer 2024, right?
Yeah, sounds about right. Because yeah, we had like pretty much the whole EP written for like a
Mhm.
while without a drummer. We just like recorded like shitty program drums, in John's apartment, just essentially just to keep time. We were like, this
Mhm.
is yeah,
just
this is gonna get deleted at some point,
glorified metronome, honestly, for
more or
Yeah,
less. But yeah, we pretty much had like all the songs done and kind of like the whole idea for what the band was like gonna be, at least for in the beginning. And we just like brought it to Will, and he was like, dude, I'm so fucking down. Like when can we practice? So
Hell yeah.
that's kind of the short and sweet version of kind of how we
Mhm.
got together and actually started jamming and doing this.
And then like so obviously most of this was like you said was pretty much done by the time Will comes in. So how soon like after Will comes in are you guys like, hey, let's hit a studio or like let's get this fully revamped and we get ready for the release?
We were in the studio for the first EP, I think September of 2024.
Yeah, I think we like practiced the songs for like a month or two, and we're like,
Yeah,
okay, like we're getting this ready, and then we,
yeah.
book studio time after that. But yeah, pretty quickly. I mean, less than a couple months or something like that.
Yeah. And like I mentioned, I think I mentioned it. For people listening, that debut EP was the self-titled, which we see a different version on that EP than we do on these upcoming singles, which we'll kind of dive into that in a second. But I mean, at least to kind of get the first chapter of Hell of a Life out
Mhm.
there, like did that feel good to finally be like, okay, we took the step of we jammed all the time, we finally got a drummer, like this is the next step, obviously in the evolution of the band. But like, did it kind of feel almost like relieving to be like, hey, we finally have shit out and like who can
Oh
focus
yeah,
on the
yeah.
next stuff?
It was very much a work in progress for like a long time. And like obviously like yeah, I mean, Amal and I both played in bands when we were like in high school, and like this is like the first thing
Mhm.
that we'd put out in like I mean, shit, like years, like
Yeah, yeah,
damn nearly
literally
almost a
since.
decade or something like that. So
Yeah, I think like prior to this, like the last thing I released was like in 2014. So
yes, I
definitely,
mean,
it just felt good. I don't know, to like one, obviously have music out there, but two, to be like, I did this with my fucking boys. I think that was the biggest thing. Was just like this. This at the end of the day is just an excuse for like the four of us to hang out.
Yeah.
essentially, yeah.
Now, this is just me like trying to do even more of a deep dive. The previous bands you guys were in like high school and stuff that you guys did record and like possibly put out, was it anything in the same vein as Hell of a Life, or was it completely different?
Uh,
I mean, my band was kind of like, I don't know, like we were kind of
if
like
it
we
was
were
kind
like
of
post
grungy, I was
punk,
gonna say.
kind of. Yeah, we are
Yeah.
like I don't know, with like a weird little like kind of like Radiohead influence or something
Hmm.
like that. So like not like super far off, but definitely not as no screaming, not as crazy, like
Okay.
Yeah.
a little bit
And
more
then
restrained.
yeah, I was in pop punk bands all throughout high school. That was kind of like one just kind of with like my high school friends. And then I was in the band Belmont when I was like 16,
Oh,
17.
okay. Hell yeah.
And then after that, yeah, I went to college and like just kind of fell off music for a while until Hell of a Life.
Yeah. I feel like also that era, like you said, 2014, especially Chicago, was pop punk was so heavy at that point. Obviously,
Hmm.
like you mentioned, Belmont, we have Real Friends, Knuckle Puck doing things. There was, I think, Bonfires was doing stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
bonfires. There was a few. There was
There's
it
literally
was
like yeah, 30 awesome bands like that I
yeah,
could name off the top of my head, like just from
yeah.
Chicago from that area.
And like I think about like my friend group just like today. Half of those people I basically met 10 years ago just at shows.
yeah, same. Like
Yeah,
it's.
I should.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I saw you interviewed Major League kind of recently,
Yeah.
just on their comeback, and for me that was like one of the biggest, like back in the day, like for us, like we were all like in high school, we were all so into like bands like Major League and kind of like and like Man Overboard type shit, things like that.
Dude, same. I'm from like
Yeah.
rural town, small town Iowa, and it was the same for us. Like real friends would come through every so often, and like we
Hmm.
used to have like a good chunk of pop punk bands come through. Like actually, speaking of Major League, that's the flag right
Yeah, yeah.
over my shoulder. But like that's was literally what like my defining years of everything was just straight pop punk all the time.
Hmm.
That was definitely the time for it, that's for sure.
But no, that's kind of funny. I was figured there was going to be between the two of you like some sort of like old school like pop punk band in the mix. But it's kind of funny how you know depending on where you are in your life, like what you're playing. Like obviously going from pop punk to this, I know I have some other friends that have gone kind of like almost the same general trajectory. They've done some pop punk stuff and now are getting into more like heavier stuff or just kind of redefining like what their musical style is going to be and just kind of going from there. But it's always interesting to see.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a lot of the bands from the '90s. They all started off playing like hardcore and then like branched off and like how post hardcore kind of became all these things. I think we're gonna be living in this era. We're gonna be like we're post pop punk.
More or less. I don't hate that label.
But I
uh,
think me and Andrew, yeah, we for sure like I think that's like one of the things we kind of bonded over when we met when we were like 18 was like, oh shoot, there's another dude at this college that like likes the same bands that I do. But whereas I think John, you could probably talk about this a little more. Like John's not into pop punk. He's kind of if you want to talk like he's always kind of been more into like metal and like
Yeah,
psych
John's
rock and
definitely
stuff.
the
Yeah.
metal guy of the band.
Yeah.
Every band needs one metal guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really listened to like a ton of pop punk growing up or anything. I know like a lot of my friends did. I just never kind of fell into that as much. I did listen to a lot of new metal growing up, but not so much pop punk and stuff. And then throughout like high school, I kind of like started listening to a lot more like kind of like noise rock and garage rock kind of stuff also. And I
Okay.
feel like that's where a lot of my things kind of come in, my influences, I guess.
Yeah. To bounce off what Andrew said, yeah, there's always one dude in the band that's got to have the metal background.
Oh,
That
Someone has
throws
to hold it down.
that sprinkles in the goodness into everything that's getting put out.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then kind of jumping back like you guys had mentioned, we're at the time it's recording we're recording like kind of end of January, so we're approaching, the 1 year anniversary of the debut show.
Mhm.
Shout out to the dudes in Grief Eater, like we mentioned. It's also kind of wild. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, and I should probably tone this back because there's still a single that I need to talk about before I get to that point. So, obviously, we've been living with this initial self-titled EP for the last year,
Mhm.
and then at the beginning of January, you guys released kind of like the opening paragraph. I'm going to say into this next chapter of Hell of a Life, with Endless, and we see you guys kind of take the shoegaze stuff that you guys were doing on the self-titled and kind of ramp it up and kind of be a little bit heavier in there, which for I think right before you guys had messaged me, I had just gotten done listening to it too, so like it was kind of just funny timing and all that. But like, what is kind of sparking like this additional heaviness that we're seeing?
I mean, I think it's kind of a lot of different things. I think one, we've always just been super into heavy music, whether that's
Mhm.
hardcore, death metal, black metal, just crazy random shit. I mean, one of my favorite like things about my relationship with John is John will just send me some random metal band. He's like, dude, you have to listen to this band. They're called like Mutilated Pig Intestines. And dude, it's so good. You should. And I'm like, John, this is the worst, craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like, no, man, dude, they're playing at Empty Bottle in a month. We have to go. And I'm like, all right, fine. But there have been so many bands, that like John showed me that I'm just like, oh, dude, this is fucking awesome. We need to make something like this. I mean, so I think that's definitely like a part of it. We've always
Mhm.
just like wanted to make heavy music and kind of found like a vein to do it in. But also, I
Yeah.
think we just kind of wanted to be like a little bit, we wanted to have like our own lane within like shoegaze, where we don't want to be just like a boring, shoegaze revival band or whatever.
Mhm.
Like,
I think something else is like kind of my introduction to shoegaze as a whole. Like, wasn't like when I think about shoegaze, I actually don't really think about bands like My Bloody Valentine or like Slow Dive, which I didn't really listen to until I was kind of like well into college. But it was Death Heaven
Mm.
for me. I think when like Sunbather dropped, for me that was kind of like my eyes like peeling back and being like, oh wow, heavy music can be fucking beautiful.
yeah, dude, that shit like exploded my brain when it was like what 2013 when it came out or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like,
like in high school. Like it was, I think that one for sure, like when I'm like influences is like Death Heaven. That's the like always number one right now, especially.
oh yeah. And I think, yeah, like I guess like with the age we are, we're all 28, so
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
like a little bit older, like, yeah, I knew like, bands like Slow Dive and My Bloody Valentine, like in high school or whatever, and I like liked them. But it was before like, shoegaze had this like big, huge revival that it's been experiencing, I guess, like post COVID. But we did know about bands like, Nothing, Ringo Death Star,
Hmm.
like Were, obviously. Like those were like big influences to us back then and kind of have always like stayed with us in a way. So
Yeah.
we're like, oh, like that can work. Let's try that. Maybe let's go down that road and see what comes from that. So I think that
Yeah.
definitely plays a part into it too.
And I think the nice thing is like with kind of like on the flip side of us talking earlier how Chicago has always been known for like this pop punk scene and everything like that. You guys happen to have like a really good like shoegaze style like heavier scene too, because obviously we talked about Grief Eater, Hoverboard's been on the show, and like you guys are all kind of going down this lane. That it's nice to see that it's not just like small pockets where like, because I feel like sometimes depending on the city it's like, oh, we're like the only like heavy shoegaze band, and like we'll fit in where we can, but you guys seem to have
Yeah.
like a good community of like this specific genre almost in that area.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's honestly like overwhelming how many awesome bands there are here.
Hmm.
Like there's literally like every single night of the week, there's like multiple just really dope shows happening like all across town. And you're like, damn, like how does anybody like, go out to all these shows and support them? Like it's overwhelming. But like,
Right.
yeah, the scene here is super awesome. Like pretty much anything you want to find, you can find it. Like that's what I
Hmm.
love about the scene here. There's literally something for everyone.
Yeah, that's like the nice thing about the Twin Cities too is like, there's so much stuff going on. Sometimes it feels a little overwhelming because you're like, I have four friends playing like all these shows
Tonight.
on
Yeah.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
same night. It's like fuck, I can't go to everyone. But like I don't know, it's nice to have those communities And I know in obviously bigger cities, it kind of we kind of have a little bit of a upper hand in it, but like to still have a community where everyone's so like in tune with everyone in some aspect, and so it's not just like a specific genre of a community, but it seems like the whole scene's together at the same time. It's always really nice.
No, absolutely. And obviously I can't, speak for everyone. There's a lot of bands here, but yeah, everyone's super nice. Everyone's super like helpful. Like, if you reach out to someone like, "Hey, we can't play that show, but literally here's 5 people that would like to."
Right.
So yeah, just the people we've met like in the scene in the community so far have all been pretty awesome for the most part. So even that's just another element too. It's just like, oh, meeting cool people, that like the same kind of music. It's just like, yeah, so awesome.
Now with Endless dropping, and like we mentioned, it's this newer, heavier side of Hell of a Life. Like, how did you guys? Was there any like kind of jitters coming up to it to release day of just being like, hey, like, how are people gonna take this new version of us?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the reception's been mostly positive, but there's definitely like, I guess some people that didn't really get it at all. I mean, it's pretty, the screams come out of nowhere. I will admit that, on the
Yeah.
chorus. So it's a little abrasive, but hey, dude, if you can't take the heat, get out of the fucking kitchen, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, we've been playing Endless live since pretty much last year. And like the song has kind of evolved in the course of time since I think when we first started playing it when to release date is like the song's actually kind of gotten heavier and heavier as we've played it, and like live people have like just like the reception live has been like, oh, I really liked when you guys are doing the screams and like the kind of heavier stuff. So for us it's kind of been uh like we've been able to see like obviously as we're building the song and like over the course of time, like one, we've kind of got people accustomed to it after more and more shows with it, but like it seemed like okay, people actually kind of fuck with this like heavier side of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, that really is like the one song that everyone's like, oh, that was my favorite or whatever.
Mhm.
And, even people have told me that don't listen to like anything heavy at all. They're like totally removed from that. They're like, oh, that was cool. I liked that. And I'm like, okay, that's not what I expected, but sure, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think the first few times we played it, I think the first half of like last year during our shows, I think it was complete instrumental. And then
Yeah, it
once
was
we
for a little
started,
bit,
we it kind of like evolved over time as we like started jamming it out more and kind of see what worked and what didn't. And then it kind of just ended up as what it is now, I guess.
which I like. I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it sounds
Yeah.
so sick.
Oh yeah,
Um,
thank you.
when this song was kind of changing and evolving over time, did you guys happen to have? Well, did you guys also happen to like indirectly like also advance like the self-titled songs? Like, have those changed over time live wise?
I feel like we definitely played them faster.
Yeah, like I guess like yeah, they're playing
Yeah.
like different tempos, but I mean for the most
And-
part they're pretty much the same as is.
There's the
mhm.
crashes that I feel like we kind of do some crazy stuff with that sounds really cool live.
Yeah, we've definitely played with, trying to make our songs flow really cohesively, and we tried to like build like a show,
Mhm.
like we'll
Right.
do like little small instrumental parts to, give people time to tune and whatnot, and usher in kind of like a new like theme, or like, oh, this song's a little bit slower or whatever. So like I think that like having the songs in the context of like a live set has changed them like a little bit, but I think
Hmm.
Mhm.
I think the self-titled songs mostly remain
Yeah.
kind of
I think yeah, Ashes is slightly heavier at the end, but I think yeah, Will's not really here to speak on it as much as as much as I think I'd like for myself too. But like I think we've with our the drumming has gotten a little heavier in that song too as well. Kind of just like we're using like a little more like double bass and kind of like blast beats later on.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where I think those kind of fit in.
Okay. I also like. Hold on, I gotta look up the track listing so I don't butcher this at the same time. Yeah, I feel like Ashes would also be like. I'd love to hear that one kind of do that heavierness because I feel like obviously it's the last song on the EP, but I feel like would be a perfect segue. As this is just me not saying obviously dissing on anything that's out there. I think it'd be like a really sick like segue writing and going into Endless as you build it up in this new form. So I dig all of that. But either way, EP sounded great. Endless sounds great as well.
hell yeah. No,
Thank
Ashes
you, thank
definitely
you.
is like in our set. Like that is kind of
Mhm.
the transition for when we start to go like for heavier stuff. Like
Hmm.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been playing with like the set list also. I feel like recently we've been playing it last, but sometimes we play it like like right after like like the EP songs,
Yeah, it's like
and then
fourth or fifth. Yeah,
yeah,
like
Mhm.
kind of as like a middle part.
mhm. That song can kind of go anywhere, honestly.
Yeah, Jardinera, you can put on anything.
Dude, literally.
Uh, but it's also awesome because like I'm catching you guys at this like awesome moment where, not to say awesome twice, but like in this moment where we're in between singles right now. Like I know the
Mhm.
next single is technically dropping on the 6th of February, so
Yeah.
it'll be out by the time this episode's out. But like Monument, I feel like takes you guys another step forward, like in like such a great way. Like obviously listening to Endless, when I went to go listen to Monument, I thought I was prepared and I still wasn't. And then you guys just took me for this ride in like a really good way, and I was like, holy shit! Like I didn't think it could like deviate that far. So I hopefully, like obviously by the time this episode's out, people will have checked it out. But I don't think people are prepared at this moment for what's about to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, that song is fucked, man. There's no other way.
Yeah,
I
that's
love it,
that
but
for
it's
real
fucked.
might be that's probably the thing I think like that as just in the course of my life, I think just making music for the past like 12 years is like that's the one thing that like I'm kind of stands at the top of like the things I'm most proud of is that song I think was just we had some vision uh originally, but what it turned into was like something that I think only the combination of the four of us could have come up with.
Probably, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in that song, to say
Hmm.
the least. I mean, yeah, there's some like weird like post-punk influences, and then obviously like the end. Oh, don't want to spoil it for anyone, but yeah, it's we. I mean, yeah, there's metal influences, post-punk influences, kind of
Hmm.
a ton of shit bleeding through there. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I love that song. I definitely think that's one of the best things we've ever done for sure.
I agree. Yeah, I'm a little biased because um I do a little bit of vocals on it, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when we figured out that John could scream, like, yeah, because I was in the studio. Yeah, I don't think you ever did.
Yeah, he just pulled it out of his ass straight
Yeah,
up.
it was a very last minute
Yeah,
decision.
But
I don't think we ever really practiced it.
no, I've never heard John scream before, like ever. And then in the studio, we finished Monument, and we're like listening to the intro, and John just goes, "Hey guys, give me a second. Can I do something?"
Well,
And
yeah,
then
we
he
were
just
like, oh, there
proceeds
needs
to
to be like
sound like
a
a devil.
yeah, it was straight like the black metal like fry scream. We're like, oh,
It
jeez.
took a lot of preparing, stuck in traffic in my car.
Yeah, but hey, it worked. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that's one of those things that like we weren't planning on doing that like. And just it just kind of happened in the studio. Like we just winged it. And we're like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds sick. Like I guess we're keeping that
I
shit.
think the turning point for that song was because I think we were here at my apartment and we were kind of working on like a demo and we didn't really we are kind of like playing around with like different ways to end the song because we didn't want to kind of just end it off like on a chorus and that's it. And we're kind of stuck in between a lot of ideas. And then I was like, guys, hear me out. What if we did like double kicks, like double bass drum on like the outro and kind of change up the tempo? And then at first we were like,
I assume I probably told John he was stupid. I
yeah,
was like, dude, no.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, let's think about it. Like,
John has a lot of like hear me out moments
sometimes
that
it works, sometimes it don't.
but it's awesome because we always like I don't know it's uh like he adds like the certain like level of I think like spontaneity that like I think sometimes when we write songs it's a little bit like in a box and we're like I don't know what to do with this and then John's kind of just out of left field like let's do this and and Andrew's like what the fuck but
Yeah.
it works I don't know.
My job is to annoy Andrew sometimes, and then sometimes good ideas.
You do
yeah,
rage bait. You do
it
rage
works.
bait.
Yeah, dude, it works in half and half. And it's like, honestly, at that point, it's like, it's a good enough ratio for me. Keeps me
Yeah.
up.
Now, I know you guys had said like Endless. You guys were playing, around this time last year, at least after like the EP came out. Was Monument already like in progress back then?
Yeah, we've played a decent amount of shows, not like a ton.
Yeah, I think we started playing it more near like the last like third of 2025
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe like our last like 3 or 4 shows we played it.
Yeah, I think we played it for the first time in September, actually.
Yeah, that's what. And we
Uh,
were like, guys, we've never played the song live. Like, we're gonna do it. Just fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
it might be bad, but
I
don't
remember
listen to
being
me.
really, really annoying about it. I was like, guys, if we don't play this, I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah, that was very much a John forcing our hand moment. I was like, I don't know if we're ready. Like, I don't really know the lyrics that well. And I'm like, okay, well, it's fine. Like, John's gonna yell at me if we don't. So,
Yeah. And like the nice thing is, worst case, you don't know the lyrics. No one in the crowd's gonna know anyway. So
oh,
we'll be
absolutely, you
fine.
just make shit up. Also, it's shoegaze. You can't really hear it half the time, anyways.
yeah.
Depending on the room you're in. So, that's kind of nice.
So obviously, we're 2 singles into 2026. Like, what is this kind of leading to at this point? Like, are we have another single in the chamber? Or are we leading up to like a new EP or something?
It's a little,
So we do have another single that's coming out probably I'd say like
Sometime
in
in April, I think.
yeah, late March, early April
Yeah.
sometime. It's a cover. Don't want to spoil anything just
Okay.
yet before it drops, but it's another song that we've been playing to at a lot of our shows recently. And it's by a band that like has been super influential to us, and it's not I wouldn't say it's a band we sound like a ton like, but it's one of those things where like, oh, it's definitely like an unconscious influence of ours that's definitely made its way into our music for sure. So it's kind of cool to tip our hat to, the people that have inspired us. But yeah, we're just kind of like working on some new tracks right now, hopefully build into like an EP, but there have been talks about doing a split like a 2-song split EP with a couple other bands. I don't know if I can say anything just yet, but those are just kind of ideas being thrown around right now. So the future's kind of open, but we are actively writing a bunch of new songs. So,
Mhm.
um,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
yeah, the hopes are still more stuff to be released in 2026.
yeah, we will definitely be recording something before the end of the year,
Yeah.
whether that's an
Yeah.
EP or a split. I'm not too sure yet, but
Right.
new music is being worked on.
No, I'm stoked either way because like one like where this is kind of going, I'm really stoked to kind of see like the culmination of like a full like not necessarily story, but like a full release leading up to this. But even if you guys do a split, I think splits are one thing that looking on the past couple years of bands that I've talked to and bands that I kind of follow, I haven't seen too many splits. I think I've probably seen like 2 or 3 in the last
Yeah,
couple years.
kind of a lost art in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
not a ton of people do it, but it's for the most part pretty awesome. I mean, there's plenty of splits I love, across all
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
bands that I'm like I've always go back to, and it's like, yeah, even though it seems like kind of small at the time, it's like maybe only 1 or 2 songs from each band. It's like, yeah, splits are some of my favorite releases ever that I go back to. So
oh
it's
That's
yeah.
like,
and splits I think are also just like how I've also just found a lot of bands that I wouldn't have listened to before because of like going back to that like 2012 all roads lead to pop punk, I guess. But like going back to like that era, it was like, listening to like the Story So Far splits. And then that's how I found out the band Maker, or like, kind of like examples like that is like, vice either we put people onto a new band or they put us onto them, right? Like
Yeah.
kind of it's a really like I think a win-win situation for
absolutely, yeah. If we can put on a band that we think is awesome, and if like, one of our friends, someone who listens to us, like finds them and that becomes their new favorite band,
Mhm.
like mission accomplished. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's all we're trying to do is put people onto good shit. So.
And also, there was like a point in time where some of my favorite tracks from a band would only be on the splits. Like they would
Mhm.
never make it to the album, and I would like. There's like a couple like Such Gold songs in particular that they're on the split with Into It Over It, which is probably like my 2 favorite Such Gold songs.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're only on that, so you have to listen to the split to like actually listen to them.
Yeah, especially like the split era for like Knuckle Puck. Like, dude, yeah, some of the best songs.
Dude,
Yeah, some of the like Fences. Like, dude, there's some insane
Gold
songs.
Rush, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, it's like some of the best songs are off those like splits from that era. So it's awesome.
Off camera, you can't see my knuckle pluck flag, so but it's there.
Hell yeah, gotta hold down.
But yeah, so it'll be really sick to kind of see a split, and like obviously the splits that I've seen in the last couple of years have been like that normal, just 1 or 2 bands. But it's been a while since I've seen like a 3 or 4 band split. I know those ones can be a little bit more chaotic, but like if you can get four bands together to release something all at one time, like you deserve the world. Like that's so much responsibility.
Yeah, I would say we'd have to find some like I don't know, some like grindcore bands or some shit.
Yeah,
But somebody that has songs that are like a minute long, like that might be the formula to
if
work
we were
that
to
with.
do
Yeah.
a split with like multiple bands like that, I feel like it'd be most fun just to do complete different genres for like each band and
Oh,
just
dude,
throw
yeah.
people
If
in
we
for a complete loop or
oh yeah,
something.
if we just pissed off all the dude, that'd be yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, what the hell is this?
Mixed bill shows are always fun, but what about a mixed split?
Oh, dude, hell yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah, I do it.
galaxy brain shit right there.
Uh, and I know I was going to talk about this earlier. Obviously, we're coming up on the anniversary of the debut show. I believe was it just last week on the 23rd? You guys had your first headline show. Also,
So
or
unfortunately, that
that.
show was canceled because it was what like negative something
And
degrees
It was,
outside.
yeah,
Yeah, the wind
That's
the
fair.
wind chill was like negative 20,
Yeah.
and yeah, they emailed us like at 9 a.m. the day after, like, dude, like no one's coming out to the show. We're like, that's fine. I kind of don't really want to
yeah.
either.
My bad. That's my fault. I should have looked closer in
That's
No,
all.
it's
That's all.
I think we posted that like on our story and that was about it.
Okay.
Uh
We were like, we're going to this bar. If you want to come hang out with us, come.
yeah,
The show
we
is definitely not happening. We're not
literally
anywhere tonight.
literally like all us and like one of the other bands that like was gonna play just ended up like let's just hang out either way.
Yeah,
Like
like we were
let's
gonna
go
do this
out.
either
Like
way.
let's not make let's make a night out of it either way.
Okay. Hell yeah. That's at least a plus.
Yeah.
Obviously you have the day off. Like you're already prepared for it. At least go do something.
Exactly. So yeah, the headlining show is it's still coming. It's
Okay.
still on the way, but unfortunately Mother Nature had other things to say, so it is what it
Try to
is.
silence us.
Quite literally, yes. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, then we'll pivot this way. We're coming up on the anniversary of the debut show, with the
Mhm.
single coming out, 3 days technically beforehand. How does it feel to kind of have a full year of shows kind of under you guys' belt? Because like I went through the Instagram, you guys were pretty active. I feel like in 2025. Like how does it feel to be 1 year older as a band in that aspect?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I mean, we've just had like so many great times at so many of our shows. I mean, honestly, most of our shows have been pretty awesome for the most part. There's
Mhm.
definitely been a few that weren't super well attended that we won't talk about, but for the most part, like every show is pretty awesome. Like met cool bands, saw good sets, met cool people, got positive reactions from people, like, made friends and connections. So yeah,
Mhm.
just kind of grinding and doing that for a year has been super rewarding. I mean, just yeah, literally just being at any show in Chicago is always an awesome experience.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single show that we played that like I was like, oh, I wish we didn't play that because even like the ones that weren't like super well attended, it was still fun. We played with some cool bands. It was
Yeah, that's the thing. Like every show, has its issues. Like maybe I don't know.
Mhm.
I can't hear any of the vocals. My monitor doesn't work at all. Like there could be a million different things wrong, but if like a bunch of my friends are there, the other bands are cool, like, stuff like that. It's like, okay, whatever,
Right.
it's still worth it just to be out there doing it, and having a good time and just building community. Like
Yeah, and I
it look
think
past certain things.
at least something I've noticed for me is like uh when I look into a crowd at a lot of our shows, uh chances are like the front row, like front 15, 20 people are just our friends. Like we have this kind of just like consistent group of people who come to our shows. And there are like just some of my best friends growing up, or some, all of our best friends, like our best friends. And when I talk to them, they're kind of like, a lot of them too kind of like went to shows 10 years ago in the same way I'm talking about, but like, they talk about how they missed kind of that like local scene community that some kind of fell off during COVID. So you didn't really get that. So a lot of my friends are just like, we love fucking coming out to shows. Like even a lot of people who aren't necessarily into heavy music, shoegaze, stuff like that are like, you know what? It's the energy I miss so much that like can't it's everyone's kind of looking forward to that. So at the end, like that's kind of what I'm like, that's kind of what makes it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everyone there also just has such like a genuine interest in music too,
Mhm.
that it's like I could know, none of the bands on this bill, and I'll be like, I'll check them all out. I mean, they
Yeah.
might be my favorite band. You never know. So I think people are pretty open in that regard. And they'll go see a four band bill, and they're like, I know Hell of a Life, that's it. But like, If they're playing with Hell Life, they're probably cool. So, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's cool to see that.
I think that was one thing that like I don't know if benefits the right word to put in the same context as COVID, but like it I feel like it weeded out a lot of the people that like weren't there for like the right vibes or right meanings because like after that you could tell like since we were all like stuck inside everyone was like dude we need to get back out to shows and just support and just
We were
build up the
fiending.
community
Oh
again
yeah.
and like now when you go obviously we're quite a few years removed or a few years depending on people's aspects but like you go to shows and it's just like oh no people are here to like be here and
Mhm.
support this instead of just like oh I'm here to sit at the bar and just like be at the show rather than like being at the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like we've talked to so many different people. Like I remember I talked to one kid. I think he was like barely 21 or maybe under 21. I don't know. I'm not I'm not making any assumptions or whatever, but he was like, "Yeah, this is like the first time I've ever been to like a show in Chicago." And I was like, "You picked to go see us? Thank you so much." But like I don't know. But yeah, like genuinely I was like, "Dude, holy shit, that's crazy." I was like, "Are you having a good time? Are you like yeah, it's crazy stuff. Like we meet people like that all the time that just have like super different experiences, but everyone's like super passionate about the same thing, and
Yeah.
it's really cool to see.
Now, if someone's coming out, because like it's been a while since I've been to Chicago in general to even see a show, but let's say someone's wanting to go out and they have like a list of shows to go to. What are some of the venues that like are you feel like the better shows kind of be played at, or ones to kind of hit up to hopefully catch a good show?
There's a lot. I mean, I think maybe we'll put DIY like spaces like kind of in their own category, not that they're
Mhm.
like less than or anything by any means, but I do think it's its own kind of like separate category here, honestly, because there's so many like awesome DIY spaces. Like Bricktown is great. New spot called the Lowdown is really awesome. I mean, there's like generally kind of too many to keep track of, but
Yeah.
those are super cool. Yeah, just because they're like, community run, everyone's like very, down and supportive. Those are really cool. I think as far as the kind of more established venues go, I mean, Empty Bottle is always great. Like they do free Mondays where just the show is free. And that's like I feel like that's a very like, coveted kind of slot to play because it's like,
Yeah.
there's only so many free Mondays, so you got to be kind of good to get on that. But yeah, going to that is always awesome. They have like cheap drinks and the show is free.
Mhm. Those shows are normally more packed than like a Friday or Saturday
Oh
show.
yeah, dude, you
Yeah.
actually have to get to those shows early. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Empty Bottle is great. I mean, there's so many great spots. Like Shuba's is great.
Mhm.
Subterranean.
So yeah,
is
we played Subterranean downstairs what 3 times now.
yeah,
Uh, Consistently kind of like one of my favorite places to play. Just
yeah,
great,
yeah, just like easy to get to. The people that
easy,
work there
and
are all super nice.
it's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Which like when you play a lot of shows, I think that's kind of like you're like looking for a venue that like you can rely on and that, like everything runs smoothly there always. But too, and then Sleeping Village as well.
yeah, Sleeping Village is
One of the
awesome.
best venues probably in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many like awesome venues here. It's like I'm literally like I'm like, racking my
Yeah,
brain.
there's too many. Yeah.
There's kind of too many, which is a good problem to have. But um, yeah, the scene here is just so awesome. There's so much going on all the time.
hell yeah. Yeah, I've been to Sub T once. We played upstairs actually,
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
and that like to me it's like a horror moment. The show went fine. It was
Oh,
that
but
like
dude,
the
load in when you got to go up the stairs with a
yeah
cab.
yeah
Dude,
someone had like an 8x10 and we had to carry that up
Oh
the fucking
yeah.
stairs. Like that shit
yeah,
sucked.
yeah. That's
Other than
why.
that, great place.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've been lucky to play downstairs every time. So unfortunately, we haven't run into that issue yet. But
I play with a twin reverb amp, and every time we lift it, I'm like, I like Google like a DI like Helix amps and shit like that. Like
Mm.
maybe I'm just like I'm so tired of carrying this shit.
yeah, I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. I don't know
No.
if it's gonna be all analog.
Um, Well, like in typical fashion, I kind of jump around, so I just want to make sure before we start to like transition or anything
Hmm.
that I haven't missed anything between Hell of a Life, Endless, or Monument that you want the people to know about.
Mm,
That's kind of it, I think.
yeah, I don't know.
I
I
think I'd say
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Aside from, I guess we're playing a show soon, but that's pretty much it.
I think this
Oh,
is
yeah.
coming out after. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
This
just
will be
coming out
out like
after. They won't know about it.
it's
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
shoot. Yeah,
The
after
the
this
show
one.
would the show was sold out.
I think we're playing we'll be playing Beat Kitchen on March 22nd.
I
Okay,
believe
hell yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's sick. But other than that, yeah, that's it.
Um, which we'll talk links here in a little bit. One thing I
Hmm.
think I did want to kind of bring up, just because uh, for the endless cover art, obviously we see kind of like an open field and just kind of a chair kind of sprawled there, and then I feel like the monument uh, artwork is completely different. Obviously, it's black and gray. We kind of see like I feel like the head of a statue in there. Like, where do you guys get the ideas for both of those artworks?
Yeah. I think so. Me and John both took those photos. I took the photo for Endless. I was literally just I was out in like Tomahawk, Wisconsin, like up north, kind of near you at that point. And like I was there just staying at like an Airbnb in the woods, and like there was just a massive storm one day. And I took a photo and I looked outside. I'm like, this is fucking beautiful. I'm like, but like just seeing that, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of what being in a band in the Midwest feels like. I don't know.
I feel like that chair after some
Yeah.
shows. Like,
I think that chair does tie the photo together completely. It's great.
it's quite picturesque. I was gonna say, where is that the monument picture from? That's
Yeah,
like,
I took that picture. So I was on a trip to New York visiting a friend once, and I went to that was like my first time ever going to New York. And there's this one, there's the Met Cloisters, which is like a museum that has like a bunch of like really like old like medieval and like church kind of stuff in there, and like just like a bunch of like altars and fountains and just really cool stuff. And I was taking a bunch of photos and I was there because I thought it was awesome. And then I was looking through my photo library and I was like, this would be really cool for like a cover art for like a single or something. And then I just kind of played around with it in Photoshop.
yeah, I think as
And
soon as you
then
like threw that like weird black and white thing on it, we're just like, yeah, that's
yeah,
hard. Like,
yeah, a lot of it is just like me just dicking around in Photoshop, and then sometimes something comes out looking kind of cool.
John does kind of like cryptids and like ghoul imagery a lot.
Yeah, big fan of cryptids, ghouls,
all,
goblins and stuff.
all those things.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Did you guys also? Did John? Do you also do the self-titled artwork?
I did not. That was actually one of our friends, Trey, who designed it for us.
Yeah, Trey was
Mhm.
my Trey. Yeah, Trey was roommates with Amal and I in college, and he did that artwork for us. Yeah, he's a super
Hell yeah!
talented guy. So
Yeah,
Sick.
I did, however, make an edited version. So Lucas from Grief Eater. He's also working on a tape label, I believe. He's working for like other bands to release like cassettes, and he's helping us out by releasing a batch of tapes, which should be out hopefully in the next month. And I kind of
it's
edited some of the like the art for it and like design and stuff,
yeah,
and
John did like the all the
the
inside
J
design
card
for
stuff.
that. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be like a combination. One side is gonna be our self-titled EP, and the side B is gonna be Endless Monument and the secret cover, which shall
Okay.
remain nameless until then. So yeah, it is kind of like it's cool. Yeah, it's cool in a way because it's like a I don't know, a combination of those two chapters in a way. And
Yeah.
it wasn't something we really like planned too. Like Lucas would just hit us up and was like, guys, I'm doing a tape label. Would you guys want to make tapes? And we're like, all right,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, like
I
I
think that
guess yeah, because it was something with the timing, right? For like
yeah,
both sides.
because like it just didn't make sense to put just the EP on a tape, and I was like, we should just put the singles on there and kind of. Plus, we don't really have any like physical media for like any of our music or anything, so I felt like it was like kind of the best way to go about it.
Yeah, we just needed like, yeah, also just like a cheap merch item too for people to support,
Yeah.
They didn't want to, splurge for a shirt or anything. So,
And cassettes are cool.
yeah, because that's what the
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
No, like I've said that on past episodes is like if I go to a merch table for as being like a bigger dude, having I say this as I'm wearing a shirt with a design on the front. Getting a shirt with a design on the front is always it's hit or miss because sometimes it'll look wonky. Uh, you know, body dysmorphia. That's a whole thing. But if there's like a tape or like a 7 inch or something like that, like I'll pick one of those up because I still want to support, and then I don't look weird because
Mhm.
obviously you listen to it. But like I have a bunch of tapes that I still need to get a tape player for, but Like I picked up the Grief Eater tape last week. Yeah, just those little things. Like, I mean, tapes are usually $5-10 tops, depending on who's doing them. But like, just like a quick little item to pick up and still support.
Oh yeah, and like you can find like pretty good tape players online for like pretty cheap. So it's pretty
Yeah.
accessible for everyone. And like obviously we'd love to do vinyl, but it's just like,
It's expensive.
it's just a financial burden.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah.
So many of
And
these are just backed up.
yeah, and we're like, dude, we're not waiting 9 months to like release
Dude,
music. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it's also, I think that's obviously with like the way digital streaming services are right now, and everyone's kind of gripes with them. It's nice to like have music to be like, hey, this is some shit you can actually own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it's cool too because like there's like I have tapes that both like I have some friends that did a split with each other. Both bands are no longer around, so it's like if they end up getting rid of like a Bandcamp or whatever has it on there, like then I can be like, yo, like this is the only way I can listen to this. This is
exactly.
treasured at this point.
It'd be awesome if we became Lost Media.
Yeah, you can only find yourself on SoulSeek or some like random track
Yeah.
God, yeah.
in shitty like 128 like bit rate, some like MP3.
That's John's vision for the band.
Yeah.
But hell yeah. So at least people can look forward to tapes. We'll talk about tapes here. Well, again, links when we get to that part. Do you guys have a color in mind? Did they tell you that for your tapes yet?
Yeah, I think we're doing like the tape
Purple?
cover itself. Yeah, it's like a translucent purple kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's gonna be sick.
Purple's kind of like our color of the year, I would say.
Yeah,
we're just big purple guys. I don't know what else.
Yeah. Like that's our like Pantone like.
Well, yeah, I just think it's like, I don't know, there's something about like having colors like that with like associated with like super heavy music. Like, I mean, it like exploded my brain when like the Sunbather cover was like pink or whatever. So I do think there's kind of a cool contrast in that, like that I think kind of embodies like our sound in a way. So,
Yeah.
Hell
yeah. Well, I'm stoked for those to drop and see what they look like. And I know everyone else will pick those up when they can. As we start to transition here, this is obviously Beers with Bands. You don't have to be drinking on these episodes because I'll definitely do that for you. But I know the three of you have some beverages in front of you on this fine Tuesday evening. What are you all drinking tonight?
So we're just ripping some classic old styles. I think I'm actually due for another one here in just a second. So maybe I'll conveniently sneak away to the fridge here in just a second. But yeah, just classic, Chicago Midwest staple, whatever.
I'm drinking a Pulaski Pils. It's a Chicago beer from Maplewood. It's decent.
It's decent. What kind of beer is it? Like, is it?
It's a Pilsner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it was like $10 for a 4-pack of Tall Boys. It's not bad for like a local brewery.
Yeah, that's kind of how it has to go.
Yeah. For this episode, I got some good old Modelo's.
Beautiful.
Classic.
Beautiful.
Classic.
That's a cerveza right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, there's this awesome bar that I don't know. I want to shout it out, but I don't know if I want to blow up the spot. There's this awesome bar in Chicago that, dude, they do Modelo drafts for $3.
Holy shit.
That's crazy. I'm like, who is your supplier? Who is your connection? Because that is,
and they got Jameson shots for $3 too, right?
Dude, yeah. Which I'm like,
yeah,
it's just cheap, but it's not that cheap. Like the fuck?
I don't understand. They've got to be on Oompa Loompas or something.
I will tell you the name of that bar privately if you're ever in Chicago looking for a dope place to rip Modelo's at.
Oh hell yeah, dude, hell yeah! I remember my first this is probably 6 years ago now. Like I went out to go visit a friend in San Diego, and we went out to this one bar, and I was so hyped because they had Modelo on tap, and it was like the only place I had ever been that had Modelo on tap, and I was like, I can't leave. Like this is life now.
Dude, Modelo draft hits so goddamn hard. Like, not trying to talk shit, but like once I had it, I'm like, I can't go back to the cans, bro. Like, I can't, I can't do it. Like,
that's fair.
We talk about this because They're drinking old style right now. Just the difference sometimes in a beer between the bottle and the can is insurmountable. Like a old style out of a bottle, miss me with that. Old style out of can, nectar of the
It
gods.
makes
I
no
don't know
sense.
what it is.
Scientists are still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't.
And
I don't.
normally I'm a bottle guy for when it
Yeah,
comes
it's
to
normally the
mellows.
other way around,
Uh,
but yeah.
Yeah.
but it's more for here. Like it's more convenient just because like it fits in the fridge better, and then I don't have a
Mhm.
bunch of glass bottles. But like when I go home and me and my cousins get together, oh man, we're buying 18 packs of just glass bottles and we're downing them.
My
Dude,
problem
yeah.
with glass bottles is when I get drunk, I just want to break them. So like I can't.
That's
We've
fair.
never broken any bottles ever. Which is-
Yeah, no.
I had a friend once after a show. They were touring through town, and they had been drinking Crown like on their own. And so
Hell
after the
yeah.
show, he was pretty much gone, and he kept trying to break a Crown bottle, but those things are like indestructible.
Yeah,
You've
if
never
you
tried to break one.
toss those off like a third-story window, it's not breaking. Yeah.
Yeah, and this dude was like almost like trying to slam dunk it in a dumpster, like trying everything, and just it would not break, and it was the funniest fucking thing, just to watch him be defeated every time, and not understand why.
There's a few liquors like that. What is it? Was it Capriccio or whatever?
Capriccio, yeah,
The one with
like
the really
super
dumb
sweet ass
ass.
wine.
Oh my god! Yeah, there was one time I threw one of those. No one was underneath. I made sure I threw one of those out of a window and it didn't break. And I was, like, you know what? I'm like, I'm not even asking any questions at this point. Like that's on me.
Now I feel like since we've ventured into the hard liquor segment of the beer portion, and you guys are Chicago dudes. Everyone associates one specific liquor with Chicago. Are you guys big Malort guys or not?
I
I
don't think really anyone in the band loves Malort that
I don't
much.
love it, but it's like
I don't hate Malort. Like I'm
Yeah.
not.
yeah,
it's
like-
like people like shit on it for like tasting like shit, and it kind of does, but it's like it's not like
it's a gimmick shot. Like it's a gimmick. You know what I mean? Like in the
Some people
same
I know
way,
that
like
do like
we
it.
don't.
Yeah,
we don't
I
eat
know a
deep
ton of
dish.
people that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. In the same way, like most of us like don't eat deep dish at home. But like
Yeah.
you're not gonna like pour up yourself a nice stiff Malort. You know.
Well,
Like-
also I will say genuinely, like there are good bottles of Malort and there are bad bottles of Malort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've had
I
some
heard there-
really bad shots of Malort, and I've had some like that just tasted like whiskey. Like that just tastes like booze. That's fine.
Yeah. So I was getting my hair cut over the weekend, and at my barber shop, it's usually like there's a couple like have beers while you're getting your hair cut or whatever, and they have some bottles, and they always have a bottle of Malort. So like they did a round of Malort for everyone. I chose not to participate because I had other things to do after that one. But like they're like big supporters of Malort to the point where like it's like they're telling me the notes that are in there, like the hints of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
But
they
they
start
had-
talking about wormwood and shit, which I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, yeah.
But,
It's above
like,
my pay grade.
But they mentioned that there's like a barrel aged one, and I was like, "There's a barrel aged like like I thought it was just a one and done, but like that's crazy." that there's,
They've
like-
got a few different varieties. I really love the videos of like I think during like it was when the MLB was like I think they were doing games in Tokyo, or like they were having a lot of like
Oh,
baseball
yeah,
like,
dude,
events in Tokyo.
yeah, they were like,
and
yeah.
then they were just giving like Japanese people Malort without telling them what to do, and like that's some of my favorite content on the internet.
They were like, this is disgusting. Like normally such a polite group of people. They're like, dude, this is awful. Like
I think my favorite was it was during COVID. There was this dude on TikTok. He was like the unemployed sommelier.
Yeah.
His content started out with like, "Hey, I'm an unemployed sommelier," so he would like taste test different things. But towards the end of a lot of his posts, it all became just Malort based things and just mixing it with other like ingredients. And just watching that dude die inside every time.
Will
he
it
had to take a
Malort?
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously it's a Chicago liquor, but I never really had too much of a connection with it, like drinking it.
it was literally just like not for me.
it was
Like,
like it just felt like a gimmick. Like, oh, okay. Sometimes I think if you ran into someone, like if you're out at a bar and you meet someone who's very drunk, but they're like, oh, I'm visiting Chicago. You know, it's like my first
You're
time
like,
here.
oh, you
You buy
got
them a shot
Malort.
of Malort. You know,
Really
you have
good.
The
to,
Chicago
like,
handshake
yeah.
was
yeah.
yeah, you just like you do a little sneaky, but you kind of like it's one of those things that like otherwise, they come and revoke your citizenship. You're gonna like you got to
Yeah,
do
we can't
that.
literally can't talk shit. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only times I've ever had Malort was when I was on the point of blackout, and there was like $1. And, like Malort had just gotten to the Quad Cities, and my friend was like, "Hey, do you want a shot?" And just got me a shot because they were for $1.
Uh-huh.
And I was to the point of that night where like I shouldn't have done a second one, but I got him back and we did a second one, and then it was just over. That night was ruined.
okay. So speaking of Malort in the Quad Cities, you know the venue Raccoon Motel or whatever?
Yeah,
Dude, apparently, so they have these shots. My friend played there like a couple nights ago, and he was like, he sent me a picture, and he was like, dude, they have Malort and Fernet shots. Like it's like a combo, like in the same thing.
interesting.
I'm like, dude, what? That's like a Frankenstein's monster of booze. Like, first of all, like I think you might get like the liquor commission to come out there and be like, like, yeah, are you
You
allowed
got
to
to
do
call like
this?
the
Like,
Geneva Convention. Yeah.
but like, I mean, that's I don't know. Just a side tangent I wanted to bring
Yeah.
up because I saw that and I was like, my mind is exploded. Like I don't know how to respond to this information. Like, is that good? Could that be good? Maybe. I
There,
don't know.
there's this one place in Avondale in Chicago. It's called Demon Tap. It's like a fantasy slash D&D themed, like it's like a bar but like a restaurant, and they have a Malort ice cream. And
That's nuts.
yeah, I tried it, and honestly, it's not that bad. Like, it works, I think.
Interesting.
It's from a good bottle,
I
probably.
did I did have the shot of Malort with a cicada in it last year.
Oh yeah, I remember those
Where
with
was
the
that?
Yeah.
yeah,
This place, it was in the suburbs of Chicago, but last year we had this like massive cicada brood, just like all over the place. I left my car window open overnight and I had like 15 dead cicadas in my car. But like that summer, this one bar was doing like a cicada infused Malort shot where they would literally like they were like partnering with Jepson's to like brew a Malort, and then there would be like a cicada in your shot.
That's
It
crazy.
wasn't great, but I honestly the cicada was the worst part. Wasn't even the worst part of it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do it for the bit. Like
Yeah.
this is
Does it get like soggy from like the Malort?
No, it's like ungodly crispy.
it's aged.
Ah, that's wild.
That sounds good.
Uh, well, enough about Malort. They don't pay me anything for these
I was gonna
episodes.
say, yeah, we could talk about booze
Yeah.
all night.
Uh, but no, like I said, this EP, well, the EP was sick, and all the singles so far have been amazing to listen to, and I really am stoked to kind of see where you guys kind of take it from here, and see if you guys take it up another notch in heaviness or not, and just keep rocking with it. But like as we're starting to wind down, I have probably like a couple more questions, and I'm trying to decide fully what to do. Wheels are turning. We'll see what happens. Beers have been
We're all
flowing.
good. We
Yeah.
got time. Hit us with anything.
Yeah, this is
We're
this is
open
all I
book.
have planned for today, so we're good. I'm just trying to make sure they don't run into each other, but we'll deal with it if it gets there. But like, obviously you had a solid, I feel like, first year of playing shows. I know you didn't want to talk about some of the shitty moments or rough moments, but what were some of the things that you guys maybe learned this first year of doing the band together?
Never play a matinee show ever under any circumstances. It's a bad idea. There's no one's gonna show up. It's bad. Don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's nice to like be packed up and loaded and like it's like 7:30 p.m. You can go out to dinner, but like, most people have most people's like days during the Saturday and Sunday, they're chilling at home. They're at pumpkin patches, shit like
People
that.
do
They don't
not
want
want
to
to
go
hear
watch music,
screaming music at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
It's too much to ask of
Yeah.
anyone,
unless you're
clearly.
like unless you're like a hardcore band, I think that somehow works.
There's 9 bands on the bill. It's like, yeah, the show's going from 3 to 9. Like,
Yeah, it's got to be at like a VFW.
yeah, exactly. Like,
But
so I think
other than
that's
that,
yeah.
Uh,
um, go ahead, John.
Always double check a surge protector if you're like playing at a small bar or anything.
Oh yeah, there was one show we played at this pretty small dive bar here, and I mean, yeah, we crank our like our amps and everything.
Sound
Like
guys
it's
hate
loud,
us.
it's loud as fuck. There's a
Yeah.
lot of shit going through. Like it's pretty crazy, and I don't even know what happened. I think we literally just like broke their
I
like.
think John's bass was just like the vibrations of that literally like just knocked the surge protector out of its socket.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
shaking the
Those,
walls like next to us.
yeah, it just I think every one of the, the plugs on there was like super finicky. Because I remember we were playing live, and then all of a sudden I hear Andrew's guitar just completely cut
Yeah,
out.
yeah. There was just no mute, like nothing. Like during
And
a
I
part where it's
started,
only guitar and drums.
yeah, and I started freaking out, and I kind of like went like bent down and kind of try to figure out what the fuck was going on with the surge protector. And I guess one of the plugs is just super finicky and it wasn't like giving Andrew power in his pedal board. So I fix it, and then like 20 seconds later, my fucking bass board goes out and my bass cuts out. And then I go down and try fixing that as well too. And then it turned out my amp was actually out. So I was just there was no bass for like a good like 10 seconds as I was freaking
We
out.
somehow got to that.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
what we
fucking.
learned from
kept
that
playing
is
it.
just straight up
It was
never stop
it was
playing.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
like
that was
Yeah.
probably the most stressful live moment of my life, I think, trying to
yeah.
figure
We very much have
Yeah.
our like never stop playing rule, but that was the one moment where I was like, okay, there's no guitar, there's no bass, like you can't hear anything. Like, what are we doing here? Like it's literally just drums, just
We're
keeping.
all drums and guitar. We're like Metallica.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there's in the grand scheme of things, all pretty small stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
every show we've played, there's never been a show I think I guess maybe like the last show we played was like fucking perfect. Like that show was
Mhm.
so awesome. There's always going to be like, one thing that doesn't go great at the show. Like maybe you can't really hear your guitar or some shit like that, or I don't know. But for the most part, I think all of our shows have been like a cool experience in their own way. Even if there was like even like that matinee show, like we got to play with some really cool bands. Like no one really showed up, but we still had a good time. It was still
Yeah.
light outside after the show. So we're like, oh, let's go get some tacos across the street and go to a bar. Like, let's make the most of it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then, I get to, on the flip side of things, ask my infamous final question. Because I always like to leave off these episodes on kind of a high note. Not to say that we're not having a good time already, but this is, where we find out all the, hopefully some good moments to end it off. But my final question to the three of you is, from your time in Hell of a Life, what have been some of your favorite moments that you've gotten to experience so far?
I think
I think straight up the recording of Monument at the end when we did those vocals, like that was like we always like the way we recorded was obviously drums first, guitar, and then bass, drums, bass, guitar, and like vocals. We always do like hit that like last couple of hours at the end where we're all fucking dead tired and like just like Sunday night we all want to go home.
My
But I
favorite
think-
time to start singing. Yeah.
Yeah, but when John pulled out those screams. And then Andrew chimed in and with those high, those like kind of like fry screams, like the high pitched ones, and then I listened to that and I'm like, yeah, like this is like I don't know, like we're this is like this is the best like this is like the only thing I ever want to be doing anymore.
yeah. I think for me it has to be I don't know if this is a specific moment, but this is more so just whenever we're like at our practice space and we kind of just come up with some random idea and then it just like kind of like lightning in the bottle moment happens where it's like everything works out and sounds really cool even though we didn't really plan on it. We're just like doing some jam that we kind of pulled out of our ass like in the spur of the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the best songs we've written, for the most part, were just like pretty much just jammed out, or at least
Yeah.
like improv for the most part. Like
Mhm.
maybe we had like a verse and a chorus at most coming in, but it's all just been like, oh, what if we tried this? Like, what if we did that? And a lot of times, sometimes it doesn't work, but like that's to me, that's the fun of like fucking around and playing music with your friends, just in a practice space.
Mhm.
Like, and I think that's just been super huge for one, just us writing better songs, but two, also just I think just having more of an enjoyable time in the band and just like connecting
Yeah.
with each other more.
Yeah, well, especially I think like whenever we kind of like reach like a flow state, uh, like at our practice space, just kind of like again, lightning in a bottle is a good way John put it. Where it's just like what, like we have one fucking idea and then we're just gonna cash out an entire song is like somehow it ends up being one of the best things we've ever done.
Yeah, and on the
That
flip side, we also have like a lot of stuff that we've been working on for years that we kind of just can't figure out how to go.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is like a whole mixed bag of some stuff. Like there's some
Yeah.
songs that like I genuinely think we've written that are really dope, but like they probably just won't see the light of day just because like we have a ton of other ideas that are a little bit more streamlined to put together.
Hmm.
You know, at a certain point there's just too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do really appreciate like all those moments that we've been able to just like literally just like create together. Just like
Hmm.
what literally, listen to this riff. I came up with this last night. Like just shit like that. That's my favorite part, like about being in a band. Like
And
obviously playing shows is great and meeting new people and stuff, but yeah, just I think that time is my favorite.
also, I think like the hanging out we do as well, just kind of like after practice, sometimes we just go and like watch a football game or like get a couple of beers or like me and John, I don't we have a big interest. Something me and John have a lot in common is sandwiches. Him and I love a good fucking sandwich, and so
Most of our
like one of my
conversations
like,
are
I
based
just
on
have good
that.
memories of like him and I just go like, dude, let's go try out this new spot before practice and like just kind of shooting the shit until we have to is like I don't know. It's like there's nothing else I'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
The sandwich grind is pretty fun.
Sandwiches.
Yeah.
No, those are all solid moments. Obviously, I feel like the deeper message is deeper meaning is it's about the friends we meet along the way, which
Hmm.
is a big part of I feel like this show in general. It's like that's the shit I miss is just like hanging out with the friends in the van. Like the shows or whatever, but those 6 to 8 hours in the van, that's when the magic happens.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you'll remember parts of the set for sure, but like no one remembers like you fucking up or like stuff like that. It's always just about like, yo, who did that shit after the show? Like that was crazy. Like,
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's just stuff like that. And yeah.
And I think also it's like we all four of us work pretty fucking corporate 9 to 5s. So like anytime we're not doing that and doing this is kind of like, yeah, like this is just like what like life's about, for real, for
hmm
real.
yeah. No, I feel that. Um, I feel that heavy. Man, I need to call some people. I miss them. I'll do
I
that later.
yeah.
But no, dudes, this has been a great time, kind of talking about everything. If anyone's looking for merch, music, or Hell of a Life in general, where can they find it?
Our Instagram is hellovalife.band and we sell merch on our Bandcamp. It's just like hellovalife.bandcamp
I
or
think yeah, just
just
hellofalife.band.
look up Hell of a Life on Bandcamp. You'll probably find it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Or if you're
bandcamp.hellovalife or hellovalife.bandcamp, but
yeah, or if you're in the Chicago area, just DM the band or one of us and we'll deliver instead of shipping it out. If you're not super far out, of course.
yeah.
Yeah, if you want a sick Dennis Rodman tee with Hell of a Life on it, make sure to go cop one when you get a chance.
Yeah, people love the Dennis Rodman ITs, and
It's
that was like
iconic.
that was just such like a dumb idea I had. I was like, dude, why don't we put Dennis Rodman on a
It was
shirt?
awesome.
Because I was watching. Have you ever seen the video where he does the Yeezy shoe unboxing and he just rips the top like when like you get a shoe box, there's the top part of the box and you
Yep.
open it like this. He's like, I'm unboxing these Yeezy shoes, and he just rips the whole thing off. Like, I was watching that video like right before, and I was like, dude, Dennis Rodman's so fucking awesome. Like, we need to put him on a shirt. And then like
Truly one of a kind.
and then John like cooked that up in like less than like an hour, and we're like, dude, yeah, we did it. Like,
Yeah, pretty much any design work that we like don't outsource, John does. He's kind of like our VFX gremlin.
Yeah, I not like really good at it, but sometimes
well, I mean, it's
occasional
like a
stuff
pretty
comes out of it.
yeah, and it's also like a pretty collaborative effort too.
Mhm.
Like, adjust this, adjust that. We'll
Yeah.
kind of work on it together. So
Yeah.
that's another fun thing too. That's like a little bit outside of music, but still creative that we do together. So
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, everyone go get those tees. If tapes are out already, be sure to grab a copy if you haven't already. Be ready for that new secret hidden cover single coming out very soon. But yeah, depending on where you found this episode, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Threads. There's another one in there. Blue Sky and Threads. That's what I meant to say. Or you watch the YouTube version and got to see all of their lovely faces like I did tonight. Make sure you check the hyperlinks down below. Go follow Hell of a Life on all the socials. Be ready for new music, new merch, new show dates, all that fun stuff. Dudes, one last big thank you to the three of you for taking the time out of your Tuesday to sit down with me and talk about your band.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank
For
you
real.
so much for
Yeah.
hanging out and talking to us. I mean,
Yeah, what you're doing is really cool, I think, as well. I think you've interviewed a couple of friends of ours, and it's just like this is a super cool thing that I think a lot more people should know about, and like it should be appreciated. It's fucking sick, man.
Dude, I appreciate that so much. Yeah, all of our mutuals that I've gotten a chance to talk with have been super great. You guys have a great scene in Chicago. Just from everyone I've talked to in general, and I'm happy to add you guys to the list.
hell yeah.
Hell
Well,
yeah, man.
we'll be making our Minneapolis debut sometime this year, hopefully.
Oh, sometime in April,
Okay.
right?
Maybe not.
Oh,
We're still working on
maybe,
it.
maybe.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll
let you know.
we'll figure
We'll let
it
you know.
out. You let me know. I'll make sure to swing by, and we'll have a good time. We'll have a few beers in person for sure.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, man.
Everyone, make sure you go listen to Hell of a Life, check out Endless, and check out Monument, and be ready for everything coming next. And I will catch everyone on the next episode.
Hell yeah.
See ya.
Thank you, Michael. We love you.
Thank you.
Beers with bears.